Under established principles of Nebraska law, an agent's authority terminates the existence of the principal. A non-living entity cannot issue or maintain a valid grant of agency. The prosecutor's actual principals are the living constituents and vested authority in his office. Those constituents include the presiding judge and all individuals in the jury veneer. This creates a structural conflict of interest that cannot be cured and violates both Nebraska statutory law and constitutional due process. The prosecution may not proceed under these conditions. Request for emergency hearing and production of defendant. Defendant has been taken into custody while this motion remains pending. A delay in resolving the structural and jurisdictional defects raised herein results in an ongoing restraint of adjudication. Due process requires that these questions be heard and resolved without delay. See Nebraska Constitution Article 1 and 3 guarantee that no person shall be deprived of liberty without due process of law. Defendant therefore requests an emergency hearing pursuant to the court's inherent authority to manage its docket and to prevent unlawful restraint, and under Nebraska Revised Statute 29-1804. When I give y'all a Nebraska one, cross-reference it with your own state, okay? Which authorizes prompt hearings on motions challenging the validity of a prosecution. The issues raised concern the existence of a lawful plaintiff, the presence of structural conflicts of interest, and the prosecutor's authority to proceed. These matters must be resolved before any further criminal process can continue. Defendant further requests that the court order the immediate transport and production of defendant for oral arguments so that he may personally address the court on the Constitution, statutory, and jurisdictional issues presented herein. Physical presence is required to safeguard defendant's right to participate in defense, to consult with counsel, and to ensure a complete and accurate record. Section 3, agency principles govern the existence and scope of authority. A, Nebraska law requires a living principle for any exercise of agency authority. Nebraska follows the universal rule that an agent cannot act after the principal's death or non-existence. I'm just going to say case law, because I'm not going to give you the case law because I still need to go in and double verify my case law. So in this case law, the Nebraska Supreme Court reaffirmed, quote, an agency's authority terminates at the death of the principal. This rule derives from a longstanding common law and applies to all forms of representation. A principal must exist as a living person or entity capable of conferring who is not living, any claimed agency authority is void. The state of Nebraska as an abstract political entity is not a living principle for purposes of agency law. The prosecuting attorney does not receive his authority from a living entity named, quote, state of Nebraska. His authority comes from the electorate composed of living individuals. Thus, the named plaintiff does not match the principal from whom the prosecuting attorney derives his authority. B, Nebraska law recognizes that public officials derive authority from the people, not from an independent sovereign identity. Nebraska Constitution, Article 1, Section 1 states, quote, all government of right originates from the people, end quote. Nebraska courts consistently affirm that political power stems from the people themselves. See, and then there's case law. And quote, the authority delegated power derived from the people. The prosecutor therefore acts as an agent of the people who elected him. The people form the principal. Where the principal is a body of living individuals, the misidentification of the plaintiff as an abstract, non-living state of Nebraska creates an agency defect. 4, demand for verification of a living principal. Because Nebraska law requires that an agent act only for a living principal capable of manifesting will and direction. Defendant formally demands verified proof that the plaintiff identified as state of Nebraska exists as a principal capable of conferring agency authority. Defendant requests that the court order the prosecuting attorney to produce 1, an affidavit executed under penalty of perjury identifying the living principal for whom the prosecutor claims to act. 2, proof that such principal possesses legal capacity to delegate authority and is capable of manifesting assent as required under Nebraska agency law. 3, if the prosecutor asserts representation of the people of Nebraska as the principal, defendant demands that the court require production of the specific individual who is the principal or a verified statement identifying the named living person who exercises will and direction. Prosecution cannot proceed because an agent cannot act on behalf of a non-existent or non-living principal. Then there's case law. An agent cannot act for a non-existent principal. This is the last. Oh no, there's two more sections. It's quick. Number 5, structural conflict of interest when the court and jury are part of the principal class. A, the presiding judge is part of the principal group. The prosecutor's true principals consist of the living voters of the jurisdiction. The presiding judge, being a registered voter, is a member of that group. Nebraska statute prohibits a judge from adjudicating cases in which the judge has a direct or indirect interest. Nebraska Revised Statute 24-739 requires recusal where impartiality might reasonably be questioned. If the judge is not part of the principal that the prosecutor represents, the judge has an unavoidable interest in the case. A judge cannot simultaneously serve as adjudicator and member of the group that stands behind the prosecution. This results in an incurable structural conflict. B, the jury pool is drawn entirely from the same principal group. Nebraska Revised Statute 25-1654 establishes that jurors are selected from voter registration lists and list of licensed drivers. All registered voters are part of the principal class for whom the prosecutor acts as agent. This places the principal in the jury box. An impartial jury is impossible when the jurors are, by definition, the group represented by the prosecuting attorney. This violates the 6th Amendment, the 4th Amendment, and the Nebraska Constitution, Article 1, Section 6, which guarantees a trial by an impartial jury. Nebraska courts hold that structural bias in the jury pool requires reversal without a showing of actual prejudice. C, and it has case law. If the jury is drawn from the group serving as the prosecutor's principal, the proceeding is structurally defective. Section 6, failure to identify the real party in interest. Agency law requires that the principal be identifiable and capable of granting authority. A prosecution cannot proceed where the named plaintiff is not the principal for whom the prosecutor acts. Nebraska procedural law mirrors the fundamental rule that a party must be properly identified. See case law. That an action must be brought by the real party in interest. Although this is a civil doctrine, the underlying principle applies. The representative must act for a real and legally cognizable principle. Here, the named plaintiff, state of Nebraska, is not the living principal who could put authority on the prosecutor. The electorate is. Because the living principal is not identified, the prosecution lacks a lawful party can proceed. 7. Structural defects require dismissal. The defects present are structural and cannot be corrected by recusal, jury selection, or amendment of pleadings. Number 1, the named plaintiff is not cannot confer agency 2, the prosecutor's true principal is the electorate of living individuals. Number 3, the judge is part of that principal class and therefore has a direct interest. Number 4, the jury pool is selected from that principal class, making an impartial jury impossible. Number 5, proceedings under these conditions violate the due process under the United States Constitution and the Nebraska Constitution. The prosecutor, his principal, the voters are the plaintiff. He did not name the voters as the plaintiff, and that's improper and ragged. And as we were leaving, the county attorney said something to me, I represent y'all, and I said, no, you don't. And I said, who do you represent? And he said, my constituents. I said, how are you not one of my constituents? I said, I'm not a registered voter. I didn't vote for you. I don't vote. And he's like, okay, well, then he probably is. And I'm like, I don't care. You called me your constituent. I'm not your constituent. Okay, you don't have power of attorney, right? So that's what it started clicking. And then I love doing this. I hardly watch TV, but every once in a while I'll watch something. So what's his name? He's in that old show that's out now. Anyway, there's a show. I want to say it's on Netflix. I don't know. It's called Goliath. Okay, and they murdered his client. They murdered his client. And so the case, they had to dismiss the case because his client was dead. And I was like, I wonder why? Why couldn't he just represent the decedent estate? No, you can't. You can't. No attorney can represent the decedent estate. Why? Because I just told you why. Because the estate doesn't have will and discretion. It can't tell you what to do. Now, this is why when the principal dies, the agent no longer has any authority. The power of attorney dies with it. And then I'm like, but wait a minute. How does that work? Because the state of blank is dead. So these power of attorney, and then I remembered what that little fucker said to me. Well, I get my power of attorney from my constituents. I'm like, all makes sense now. But listen, if you guys don't learn how to think, I'm not talking to the people on this call, but if you guys don't learn to think, all these things just go right past you. And that's why more than anything, if you spend any time with me.
Hey, Jules, I'm sorry. Jules, I'm sorry. Sincere, can you turn off your mic? You keep turning it on. It's distorting and giving feedback. Thank you. Sorry, Jules.
Okay. If you spend any time with me, you're going to hear me say it over and over and over. I've got to teach you how to think. And look, stop chasing the money, okay? There is no money, okay? You have credit, okay? If you understand the financial system, you'll know how to use that credit, okay? Chase knowledge. In Hosea, the Bible says, for my people perish for lack of knowledge, okay? That's what you should be chasing, understanding. Understand this system so you know how to use it, because this system is doing what it's supposed to do. You're just chasing the wrong thing. Most people. I'm not saying everybody. I'm not motivated by money. I'm just hungry for knowledge, and that's why I just soak it up. I spend time in thought,
What you read earlier, Jules, what you read earlier, you going to use that inside of a court case, you said?
Yes. it's got to go through my admin. They'll do formatting and just double check the court rules, what size font they want, what they want their caption to look like, verify the case number, because the mother, she's very confused, and so I'm not even really sure what the case number is. I'm waiting for that to be verified. So hopefully she's going to get a clear understanding. Anyway, and then this will go in for a trial run. Let's see how it does. And here's the thing: the person. Let me just say this real quick. The person whose case this is getting filed into, I can't say who it is, but I have had the opportunity to drill him with multiple different techniques that I have used. And he has found so many of them hilarious. He's like, oh my God, I get it. And it worked. And so I have already taught him this. So when I'm asking this court to bring his body into that courtroom so that he can do the oral arguments on it, and when he sees the document, he's going to know she stepped up and fought for me. And he's also going to know how to do the oral arguments on it. And if I was going to put this document in anybody's hands, I would trust him more than anything. In fact, you can convince me, Ryan. It's giving me chill bumps to even say this, but this may be the reason he was captured in the first place, to prove this right here. I don't know, but another one of my creative strategies is being loaded up in a slingshot and being aimed at Goliath's head. So anyway, you were going to ask me a question. Somebody was, and I'm sorry.
Got the paperwork. They have to stand on that paperwork. Huh?
Yeah, because
advice. This is only for entertainment purposes. Advice. This is only for entertainment purposes. I just want to say thank you.
It's true. Anyway, so he knows how to hit them back with that too. So, honestly, if I didn't have a friend that is sleeping on a 1-inch mattress without a pillow and a shitty blanket in 40-degree temperatures and no food, I would be excited about this, but it's the universe and Mother Nature and Father God, they have this plan, and so sometimes we, the best of us, get thrown into the lion's den, and we have to go through that so that we can come out stronger and better. And all they're doing with messing with people like us is they're turning us into savage warriors. So anyway, yeah.
I wanted to tell you something. I know you're right about this because all that you read, because I noticed when I did when that foreclosure happened with my parents' estate, I noticed when I was reading the paperwork that the attorney had said in his paperwork, because again, it wasn't on court, but the attorney said in his paper that he assumed that we gave him, myself and my 3 deceased family members, my grandfather, my dad, and we gave him power of attorney. So when you said that, I was like, that's how he did that. Because I was telling him, like, you can't do that to deceased people. You can't sue deceased people, but that's how he did it. And so when you were saying that how he did the principle and all that, I'm like, wow. So I pulled my paperwork up and looked at it, and I was like, man, she's not. You just gave me some, like, wow, them some great gems you just gave out right there.
Good.
Because I see what you were doing. You said you were going, in the beginning, you said you were going to work inside out. That's the way you do it. you're gonna dismantle basically. And what you just did, you not only killed the fire in the mouth, you also cut the head too, because you got the prosecutor and you got the judge, and what you did was you took away their credibility and represent the claim.
Well, they're in a box because they can't put another judge on the bench either.
But,
Because the same thing
how so?
applies. Well, because
so?
the same thing applies. All of these judges are registered to vote.
It all runs concurrent.
Well,
So in every case in every criminal case, you have the plaintiff on the bench. End of story. And by the way, his power, because he represents the court, because the court's not real, the plaintiff's not real, they have power of attorney, and it's no good. Do you understand?
Off your mic.
So the judge is just the court's attorney, the mouthpiece, the hand that holds the pen. And this is why judges are not supposed to hear them slip up. You'll hear them say, I sentence you to. And okay, because no man has authority over another man. Okay, but what they're supposed to say, and what a lot of them says, they say this court sentences you. Okay, fine. The court said I'm guilty, and the court said it's sentencing me to 24 years. Bring the court in here and have the court say it. Oh, you can't.
Jules, the court is the judge. You know that, right?
Sorry, DJ Alvin, turn off your mic.
Listen, I had a judge call me, and he said, you weren't here yesterday. And I said, well, I'll tell you why I wasn't there, Mark. I said, I wasn't there because it wasn't on my calendar. You know how I know that? And he was used to me. They wanted to lock me up for 4 years for talking in a courtroom. And I said, you know how I know that? I said, because I'm the only one who has this calendar. Okay, it wasn't on the schedule. And he says, well, we said blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, you know the funny thing, Mark, is it, like I said, you don't have this calendar, and you don't get to put things on the schedule. Okay, I represent this person, not you, and I have this calendar. I have this schedule. You want to schedule something with me? You schedule it with me.
Jules, the word
And
you
he
using.
said, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was saying the word you're using, like represent, is not.
Oh no, it's
Well, that is, you have to understand capacity, okay?
Right.
You represent yourself. Yourself is the all cap name. Self is a person. Every person has a representative. Okay, this is your namesake. They gave it to you for your benefit, but you can't figure out how to benefit from having it.
What status you in when you saying you representing something?
Agent.
Ancient, not in no courtroom.
Agent.
Not in no
Agent.
courtroom.
Hey, listen.
Oh, you said agent. The agent. Oh, the agent. Okay.
And not only that, I'll change it in a heartbeat and say I'm the clerk. I don't care. But here's the thing on that phone call. On that phone call, this judge says, there was another phone call because I could not get in on the phone. And I said, just get Mark on the phone. So Mark gets on the phone because when I tell him to leave the bench, he left the bench. Okay. And he came to the phone. I've also told judges, I've also told clerks, tell the judge to come out here and summon them. I want to talk to them and have them come out. Listen, when you know what you're doing, when you know who you are, and you understand your capacity and your standing, and you know who's principal and who's agent, and you know the public servant has a master, and you know he's the servant and I'm the master. So when I tell you to do something, you do it. And for some bizarre reason, they do it. Okay. And anyway, Mark gets on the phone. I'm like, hey, I can't get in. And I'll tell you why it's funny. I was dying to be in that hearing for oral arguments. I'll tell you why. You're going to laugh. But he said, well, that's because you didn't get it approved by the court. And I said, Mark, the first day that I met you, I told you I wasn't going to be running around 5-6 hour drive to come to our little meetings. And I said, and you said that that's fine. After this time, you can just call in. And he said, well, yes, I did say that, but you have to get the court to approve it. And I said, oh, hey, Mark, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Put the court on the phone. And this judge laughed. I'm like, this is not funny. I said, get the court on the phone and I'll make these arrangements. And he's like, he goes, all right, fine, Miss Embry. When does it work for your schedule? Okay. Now, we scheduled it for the next day. He called me and said, hey, we're bringing you in because he isn't going to make it easy for me. So I bypassed the whole system. I'm on.
Jules, your mic went out.
Oh, okay. So the funny thing is, they had
Jules, your mic went out.
That's,
Oh,
that's
am I
Mark
back?
calling. That's Mark calling.
I'm sorry.
Answer the phone.
You're back.
Court calling.
Okay, so here's the thing: is when they arrested me in the courtroom for talking, I messed up their fingerprint machine. Okay, because I didn't want them to have it, and I'd never been fingerprinted in my life. And anyway, so this prosecutor was getting real frustrated with me, and I was doing very good. I mean, I was doing really good, and he's so annoyed, and so he filed a motion.
Your mic went out again. He filed a motion.
He filed a motion asking for me to be picked up or come in and get those fingerprints. So you know what I did? I looked at, no, not a warrant. He was asking the court to order it. Now, so you know what I did? I took that document, I sat there and I typed it up word for word. And then everywhere it said defendant, I put plaintiff. And I filed my own motion, and then we had oral arguments, and we stood there and argued whether or not he had the right to ask for the defendant's fingerprints while simultaneously refusing and being offended by the fact that I want the plaintiff's fingerprints. And you know who won those oral arguments? Me.
You go, girl.
And that judge thought it was hysterical. He thought it was hysterical. Anyway, but that's the biggest problem with people, not manifesting what they are after, because I know where the prize is and I know what to put my eyes on. I don't look at what if I fail. I don't. Somebody posted something on a TikTok video here recently about something that if we don't file our taxes, what if they come after us? And I said, stop it. Why don't people stop and think, what if we were to go after them? Why don't they ever worry? What if they come after us? See, people look at everything just wrong. And that's why I see things the way I see things.
That's a guilty conscience. Guilty conscience.
It's so true. Looking for the party, and look what's happening now, and we ain't even doing nothing.
Let's explain violation. No matter where.
On the road.
And also, the odds is against you in those positions. Why people want to pay those taxes. It goes back to what I said earlier. You outnumber. 99 out of 100 people gonna do it. You might be the one that don't do it, and they're gonna make an example of you. So just about talk about it.
We really ain't. If you look at it, we're the people.
But yeah,
What I'll tell you about the IRS, because it was the first thing I looked into. The IRS talks about two classes of people. Do you know what two classes of people they talk about?
the residents and non-residents, which I don't know.
No. Does anybody else?
Taxpayers and non-taxpayers.
Thank you. And when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, I'm on the wrong list. I'm on the wrong list. So you know what I did?
Oh, yeah.
I switched lists. And that's all I'm going to say about that on a public forum like this.
And
Yeah,
they
yeah,
based
you
in
tell
Puerto
me.
Rico. They based in
But
Puerto
let me-
Rico.
but let me tell you this, and this is not legal advice, and this is not tax advice, but I will tell you this: the Federal Reserve notes are dead, and everybody on here knows that, or you wouldn't be on a live like this. Okay. So you know that this is a debt system. We use debts to purchase things. Gold and silver has value, but no buying power. Debt notes or promissory notes, they have no value, but they have buying power. Now,
They use for goods and services, yes.
Now
Yeah,
that
that's
means
right.
that $100 bill is worth 100 less than zero. That's how worth less it is. Now, when you file your taxes, this is not advice. An idiot would leave that as a positive number, because let's say that somebody got $500,000 in a year. Why is that number not negative? Why are you putting a positive number in a year? Why is that number not negative? Why are you putting a positive number in a year? Why is that number not negative? Oh, their mothers did. And you know what? You can't tax her. And in exchange, in equal consideration, she feeds me. And when she's ready to sell her calf,
Yeah. And stuff, you know? Like hurting people, give up on yourself, you know? You know, thanks for the likes, thanks for joining live. Unbox and more forensic on TikTok.
they're in breach of our they're in breach of our contract, except that you filled out a form that said that they could take from you the
That's right.
W-2, W-4. Okay, so
That's it.
so that's how that happens. Okay,
Yeah.
now here's the thing: you're only taxed on capital gains. This is not advice. Your earned income. Okay, you're only taxed on capital gain, but our contract is equal consideration. My 40 hours a week, the value of that is $8,000 for 4 weeks of 40. But that's a separate contract that we worked out, right? So Do you see where I'm going with this? You have to see these things, and when you see them, you know how to deal with them. Okay. Look, none of this was explained to me
Yeah, it's
because I don't listen to people. Okay,
It's
and I.
customs and usages.
But this is
Take off for a while.
this is a way of life for me. I breathe this way. Okay, this is not something people taught me. I was born this way. Okay, so look, it's difficult to teach people how to breathe this in every breath you breathe in and every breath you breathe out. But that's what you have to get to.
So you think that, Jules, you think that people should constantly continue having controversy inside these courtrooms and stuff, their brothers and sisters? You really think that's the way?
I don't
Listen,
think.
you know what? Here's the thing. Let me put it to you like this. You know, I told you about the Bible. You know, the Bible says they'll drag you in front of the pigs, right?
Yep.
Everything, there's duality in everything. Let me tell you something. You better worry, because I'll drag you before the pigs too. Okay?
Yep.
And knowing capacity. This one, I didn't hesitate to drag one of the largest mortgage companies in this country, United Wholesale Mortgage. Okay, and I believe, and I'm not going to go so far as to say, but it did make me wonder. They just got, in a way, there's some sort of a merger that happened after I sued them. Okay, but I drug their ass right into the court. Okay, I'm taking them to the. So look,
Okay.
use the system. Use the system. There's duality in everything. And Q's, because I don't want to be drug into the pig pen. Okay?
Well, if you take
I will drag you there. I will drag. I mean, I'll be dragging MF there.
When people talk about the system, Jews, right? It's a mirror
Courts
reflection.
are our enforcement.
It's all mirror reflections. That's all it is.
Actually,
That's all you're doing.
gentlemen, that's incorrect. And this is what I tried to expound on almost a month and a half ago. First of all, we're talking about a creator. I know there are people who read the Bible here. What everyone else is enjoying. So the fact that God created man as a tool in reference to, I don't care what their title is, it's public servant before their title. I don't care what position they hold. Whenever they're in
the court enforcement, because I don't have a military. Okay, so look, we used to tell people, okay, look, okay, savages weren't called savages. Okay, we're just people born on this. Okay, so I'm native. Okay, and I'm as white as white gets. Okay, but I'm native. I'm native to this land, just like they are. Okay, but what they said was, "Oh my God, it's us," right? Like they're civilize them. Notice the word civil. Okay,
Civilized. Who?
because
Come on, who we got?
the that I'm on right now, but I'm trying to bring a little balance to my life. What did you just ask? There's a picture of a dog. Yeah, I had a good things on my other account, but anyway, I made a comment after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and somebody didn't like it, and I lost my account over it. So I just.
You got some topics right there, Jews. That's their way.
So
More than me.
I may at some point when all these cases that I'm working on get finished, I'll come back and tell y'all how they all came out. May go digging for all those videos. on my other account and post them. What did you say?
I said,
Oh, honey, that's me being retired from it. Are you kidding?
oh.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know if y'all remember my first case. I don't know if y'all remember the Bundys in Oregon
Yes.
and Nevada, the standoff. Well,
I'm sorry. What's your name again? Forensic. Your mic is on. Oh, hey.
Got a hot mic.
Did you get it? Forensic. Your mic is on.
Hot mic.
Okay, I just did it for somebody else. Just showed me how to
Forensic,
do it.
your
Okay, hold on.
mic is live.
Right quick, I'm sitting.
Hot mic, forensic, hot mic.
Is Andre? No, not Jermaine. Hold on.
Forensic. Who's the moderator tonight?
Forensic.
I can't mute her. You don't know where I can mute her.
Right.
Can we
You know where I can mute her.
Okay, I'm gonna reset. Boom.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna reset.
Damn, you can't do nothing.
I'm looking at it.
Nobody do anything.
It just said reset.
No.
So
The boss.
you got the link.
Forensic, you have a hot
I'm
mic.
still on the phone with you. Yes,
Forensic,
Valerie, get her attention.
forensic.
Oh Lord, everybody come.
It's gonna be mashed potatoes and corn bread.
Yeah.
Forensic, mute up, baby.
all right, guys, let you guys go. Thank you.
Hold on for a
All
second.
right, Jules, thank you.
Oh, they can hear me. Oh Lord.
Yes. Oh, there she goes.
Yeah, I just told her hot mic. Those here who do not know Jules, she is a mind beyond what any of you have experienced. I came in a couple months back, and I mean no disrespect to anyone. I know people you have many options. Everybody does. The corporate or write it in the private. And when I said that before, there were many that jumped up calling me a sovereign citizen. Now that's slander. That's slander. Okay, just to let you know. And what you don't understand is the Bible is clear about sovereignty, and so is the Constitution. But the Constitution isn't yours to use for the purpose that you think it's yours to use for. It was designed for the corporation. Okay, so without being disrespectful to anyone here, there is a private side and a public side. And this is a funny thing, that when she was talking about ferns, any of the ferns, and she said, why put a negative on it? This is the only thing that's keeping them going is the faith in people that they can use it. And yes, when she land, that's what I put on all my stuff in 2010. So no, it is native to this land, and you can be whatever. And this is what they do to split them up. They create all of these divisions that all they want is if you can keep fighting amongst one another, no one will find the truth. No one. Your private capacity not to be forced into any of those venues for financial gain, which is what you have the mindset, and you want to go in there and you enjoy a duel or a battle or wits of the mind. That's great. But to force, and this is where I was going the last time, and I hope everybody heard out of what she said, because she wins at everything she does, unlike anyone I've ever seen. And I've been doing this since 2007. So I say this with the utmost respect. There are always beautiful minds in here, but it's not for everybody. They're, different strokes for different folks. And we can all get to the same making is your point. So thank you. God bless you all. And I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, fellas. Get it was like, wait a minute.
Well, look, like I said, there are some brilliant minds here who have done some great things and great things for them. But, you know, I've always said we rise to one man's floor is another man's ceiling. That means
But it's
one
true.
man's
No, it's true, Valerie. It's true. Division has broken us up so bad.
That's it.
Even the,
That's it.
even the
You're
family
right.
structure, you know?
You're right.
And that's what they want.
Absolutely. That's the whole point. It's split. As long as they can keep us fighting amongst one another with whatever processes somebody else wants to perfect, that's what they're doing. And a lot longer before you were not in anyone's
Long time.
Absolutely. And I don't mean any disrespect, but just like all of us that are learning and rising in new information, fly by the seat of my pants. I said, absolutely not. I will not. I will not fly by the seat of my pants. But what they forced everybody to do is and it's kind of like, and some people are good at it. You know, if you're familiar with something of any kind, whether it's gold or silver, any kind of metal, steel, anything. With silver is a metal. And with silver, which actually is what backs this nation, not gold, silver. So, and that's why they were called silver certificates, which was the currency that had the blue marking on it. And so silver with someone who smelts, a woman asked, she wanted to know what she didn't tell him what she wanted to know it for. She was actually somebody who was a follower in one of the bodies of the local community, meaning a church. And so she went to watch him, and he says, well, this is very particular. And if you're not on top and watching for temperature to remove all of the impurities from it, she said, how do you know when it's ready? He said, oh, that's easy. When I see my reflection. So it's a reflection of your work. It's a reflection of God's face. It's a reflection of humanity. That's what we're supposed to reflect. That's it there. No, none of us are getting, we're all going to be, we're not staying forever. None of us are. We're all guests. We're just passing through. And it's to make and leave this place better. Very long time. So it's the point who are looking for whatever it is that they're looking for, those senses of freedom. So thank you.
Disagree with some of the things that Jules was saying and stuff. I'll wait until she come back and have that discussion. But controversy is not the way. Peace is better than all that work.
Well, absolutely, but they're gonna run you by the nose in their game because it's theirs, and they. Like I said, I've said it numerous times. If they wanted everyone to know about this, is a hidden agenda. And when there is no, and Bob Marley did a beautiful song about this.
I came back to, I'm still listening while I'm quilting, but here, let me say this because, okay, let me tell you this because, and I probably should, and I'm not looking at my phone, so I don't know who said it. That you want to talk to me when I come back. But here's the thing: it's called the Administrative Procedure Act. Okay, and before you take anybody to court, remember the Bible says you deal with them in the private, right? And that process is called the notary process. Okay, and it's the rules of court. Okay. meaning it's in privacy. So you send them, say, hey, looks like you breached this contract or breach. And when they don't, when you try to go to peace with them in private and they refuse, the Bible says, off to the courts with you. Okay? It doesn't just apply to us, it applies to them. Go for peace first, and then I show the court. This is where I tried to settle in private with them and ask them to that they agreed to in this contract, which is clause 23. Okay, so I don't know. I don't just sue people. You have to exhaust your administrative remedies first. Okay, so if that gave off the wrong impression, I wanted to correct that real quick.
Well, let's get it. Let's go, Jules. Right. So,
Giovanni, could you turn off your mic, please?
if we sue people, right? In
Hold
that
on.
same Bible that you mentioned,
So
Every state is different. Right, Jews? So part of that.
absolutely, they all have the same ones. You just gotta find out what statute it is, and switch it out with your state. Yeah. No, I don't know who was talking to me, but you could sit here and call me a whore, and you're not gonna incite me.
Oh, we went.
I mean, I don't let. You know what it's called? It's cause and effect. I'm always cause. I'm never effect. I never allow you to cause me to feel away. Okay, you're always going to
Even Coach Brown. Even Coach Brown.
Gentlemen, not all at the same time.
I love that, Jules. I love that.
I don't get angry.
I get that, but listening to what you were saying earlier, you sounded real angry, Jules. She took the whole mortgage company and went to sue them and argue with them.
For you.
I love it.
For you.
I love it.
When I'm through, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to say, I don't know what your name is, say, hey, Tom, here's my documents. Go sue yours because yours did the same thing.
Yep.
And then I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to give it all.
Drop the mic. Yep.
So suing is controversial, right? We agree with that.
No, it's not. It's adversarial, but it's not. No, it is peace. I'm suing for peace. I'm suing for peace. I'm not dropping bombs.
Let's take it to the next level. Then we're gonna.
I think whoever's talking, I think you're desperately trying to provoke somebody that cannot be provoked because what you're saying is so absurd. It's so absurd.
What I'm saying is, all this war talk and going after these people, bonds and all this stuff. Let's go to peace. Let's go to peace.
I believe she understood that. I don't think you're hearing her.
I didn't say that.
Let's stop going after mortgage. Let's stop going after mortgage companies.
I want to know who is
You're
this?
being disrespectful, Getting.
I think this is it's a Getting. Hey, listen, Getting, your name is going to get with that mentality, that mental block that you have that is overriding basic common sense is so below my pay grade that you don't even make sense to me. Okay, it's like you're talking gibberish to me, and I would almost bet that about 85% of the people who are listening here are like, what the fuck is this guy saying with this gibberish and nonsense? That's what it is. Yeah, it's just gibberish.
Let's stop going without brothers and sisters. Let's stop going with our brothers and sisters. And
here's the thing: you can. Yes, why don't take your mortgage company to bed with you in public? I don't care, and they can stick it to you all you want. Okay, I'm not going to
Jules.
save you if you don't want to be saved.
Jules, may I say something to you?
That's how absurd you sound.
Yeah, I'm saying something good. Everything you've been saying, Jules.
She's on a flow. Please don't interrupt her. Wait till she's done talking.
Why you
No,
not
it's
attacking
just
them dudes?
there's. Oh, okay. I can't tell the difference between voices on.
I think so.
Now I don't know if y'all can hear my sewing machine, but I'm over here. I'm in a war.
Yo, what's up? Thanks, man.
I can't be calling that trigger.
Thank you. We should have belong. You too,
I'm gonna let
James.
you
Thank
guys go, but I did want to add that because it is a necessary element, and for clear understanding, suing for peace is the right thing to do. I think somebody just likes to. I'm done.
So it's good. It's a blessing, dude. Yeah. Blessing, blessing.
Intimidate them based on what your interpretation is definitely not the route to go. Because what you're doing is the opposite of what she's actually saying. You're going in for peace. There's a huge difference.
Hey, show me in any position. Show me in any type of position that somebody can see somebody.
Prove her wrong. Stop acting with that ego, asking somebody to prove themselves. Prove her wrong. When I first started hearing about any of this stuff, I said the guy who said it to me was a bank manager. And he owned 41 pieces of property, and I watched him lose every single one of them in 2007 and 2008. So, if you have no idea what her capacity is, please prevent yourself from harming you and listen to her, because I'm going to tell you, I have never seen or heard anyone like her. And I don't know how long you've been awake and how long you've been doing this, but I was aware of all of this stuff in 2002. Yeah, I dabbled a little bit, looked at it, went back and ran the hamster wheel, just like everybody else, until you get a little bit better. Then you start learning more. I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone
I
here.
remember you, Valerie. I remember. You don't remember me, but I remember you, Valerie.
Well, God bless you. I hope that you remember me kindly, because
I definitely remember that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't
In a good
take
way.
it legit, but in a good way, you know?
She's smart. She knows a lot.
I look, it's just research, but I'm telling you,
Shit, that's all we gotta stop. Because if we don't stop it, they won. We giving them the fucking crown and everything. You know? That's what they want. It's the division. Because once they divide, they conquer.
that's what it
And I'm
is.
actually dealing with those court clerks and all that paperwork and stuff and how they got me. She's telling the truth.
Oh my
It's not
God.
lying.
If you follow her, you will win, Sincere.
Going to, because everything she was saying was ringing. Look, man,
Oh my
I ain't no bet. I'm not good with what I'm doing, but I'm learning, and everything these two ladies are saying is true. And dude, I make prosecutors hang up phones. I make judges not answer back, and I'm just learning a little bit. So guess when I get really wet with it, bro, they gonna really go. So what these ladies are telling you is right. I'm gonna get some fat on my head about this, bro. So go ahead, Valerie and FBI.
Sincere, do you got ChatGPT, the $20 one you pay for? Yeah, the one you pay for, the $20 one. What you do, everything you wrote down,
Yeah.
feed it into ChatGPT, prompts, and it will tell you everything that you wrote that Valerie was speaking.
Yeah. Well, see, I got Valerie on here. I got a lot of stuff she wrote down. I mean, she was saying
ChatGPT credit to 800 Okay,
Yeah,
from 5:30 in 2 months. Okay.
But I recorded, she said, Jules said record her, so I took my tablet and everything she said in that 6 minutes time, I recorded that. So I go,
I did too.
yeah, I recorded it, bro. I recorded it. She was saying some fire stuff, bro.
Oh, God. Wait, let me ask y'all this question. So, this succeeding, right? You going against your opponent. You think it's going to be peaceful?
Heartbreak detected.
No.
I just know life is about taking an L, and when you take an L, I look at it like this: when I'm losing, I'm winning. That's always my motto. So if I'm losing, I'm gonna win. Sooner or later, that's the whole process, right?
So what I'm saying is, you arguing with them, they argue with you. You think that's
No, they're not arguing, bro. Not one of those ladies is arguing, bro. Law ain't about dictating, it's delegating. They've been delegating. They delegating.
No. In the side of the courtroom.
Actually, you're
And
absolutely
you going
right.
against your opponent. You think it's going to be peaceful? Really?
You're
Come on, man.
No, you misunderstanding her. My interpretation of what she said is to go in and show them what they did wrong in order to come out with peace. That's the way I took it.
That is correct.
Because that's the way it works. Bro, you must don't. I'm not. Never mind. You energy harvesting, and you're not gonna get me like that either, bro. So I'm gonna chill back.
I like that.
What I want, right? I want some. I want to see y'all live in the courtroom and prove what you're talking about.
Okay, why don't you summons the court? Hey, do what they do then. Summons the court.
Yeah,
Can you summons the court? You can't summons the court, can you? Right? So that you don't have any summons ability, right? What are we talking about here then, bro? Come on, man. Chill.
You mean summons the court?
You in court mode.
Who was summons?
The judge summons. No, you're acting as the judge, the executioner,
I'm
everything right now.
Okay, I'm sending sincere summons.
Now, you don't have to do that. I'm not interested, bro. I'm not interested. Remember, I'm in kindergarten. I'm not interested, bro. I'm a toddler right now. You heard me? I'm not
Said
interested.
return to sender. He said, I wish not the contract.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He energy harvested, bro. I'm not doing that.
No peace in us. There's no peace.
Yes. These ladies, peace is knowledge, bro. Knowledge is peace. Valerie, we speak the knowledge so we can gain peace, please.
Oh, I don't have anything. I mean, Jules she said it all. She really did. And if you really want to learn something, you know, she's been at this for a very long time. Everything.
Well, you gotta go to court and learn sooner or later if you're doing this.
She
It's just that.
just left. Lady, man, she was a sweet lady.
Oh, man.
And every court, and she still got like some cases, like I think she said 30 under her belt she's got to do now.
Oh, no, she said she has. Yeah, she referred to her schedule. If someone thought that 11, I think, was saying
She was cool. She's in frequencies and yours not in that point. When you talk,
That's your perception.
words are misleading to your vibration coming on. And I'm not being respectful, I'm just being logic here, right? So, you know, you're not coming off the correct way to where you're you're not coming off the correct way to where your words and your voice is all over the place.
Not showing the Bible that you ain't supposed to be a thing, and also showing the Bible that you're supposed to sue your brothers and sisters on the back.
I thought the Bible was land, air, and water. Bibliocilious. It's called bibliocilious,
You
my
out of
guy.
that, bro. You supposed to,
You know it's bibliocilious? Since you said it's law, it's bibliocilious study text.
you get my question, bro?
Going to the philosophy of God.
Nah, did you get my
No, it's
question?
the real original meaning of what you're saying.
Listen to what Truth said, guys.
I'm asking it, getting you out of debt. Bro, do you advise to indemnity agreement? Are you saying not indemnify them? And I was actually, no jokes. Seriously.
No. So
Did you understand?
it's ways to.
So
What we're talking about in this situation, what we're talking about in this situation, we're talking about mortgages, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm not suing no mortgage company. Okay? Period.
Why would you sue a mortgage company?
she did.
They ain't taking up for that right now. I'm gonna let them explain to you why they sue a mortgage company.
She sued one of the. She went before the
One
courts.
at a time, please. One at a time.
Before the courts, and she won. Took one of the biggest ones down.
I'm not saying it's possible.
Fame and peace. Did any of you, has anybody gone to their brother before they filed this lawsuits or these motions or any of that?
Isn't that notice? You notice? I'm asking serious questions. I'm not trying to poke fun with nobody. I'm seriously asking questions. Are you saying that, you're not supposed to argue, you're not supposed to do whatever? Are you saying that notice would that
Afterwards, if you don't come to the conclusion or to a peace, you bring it into the private first, and then you keep it on the private still.
So the sister, she sued the mortgage company, won that, obviously because there was some violations of some sort, right?
Well, no, she didn't win.
She didn't win?
She didn't make the claim. She didn't win, but she had it right now. That's a part of some of the 11 cases that she'll take care of.
11?
11, man.
Familiar with that case at all?
11 cases.
Are you familiar with
No, 14.
14, damn.
That's why I'm gonna be talking.
Damn.
So would you like to address the host, my God?
I believe that she created what it was that she got what it was that she went after. And that company is no longer, it was merged. Why did it merge? If it won. Well, if the case was not in the favor of what it was that she was presenting, its name.
That's.
She says her persona so cold. When she walks in the room, she make other people nervous. They don't make her nervous. Well, that's what she said.
Where's she at, man? I'm trying to talk.
Jules,
Got some people that need her help.
you know something. You got family on there. She knows something. Forensic knows something.
When you can actually call the courts and pull a judge out of court to get the phone or summons a judge out into the hallway, I would say that's a little bit more power than anyone here has seen.
It's true, she did it.
What's her batting average though? I mean, is she doing? Was it 1 out of 100?
Because she's trying to have to win before he become a district attorney. Probably what, 2 or 3? 2 or 3? And he's hot at that time, right?
Well,
Even one is cause and effect.
I can say this, you don't have to win if the case is bad enough to do a lot of damage. Like in my situation, when I took everything, I filed the civil 42 first, and then I took it. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Look up, can a pro se litigant file a federal case against officials? Not to give me y'all too much information right now, but after it was done, I took it to the federal prosecutor, and she packed up. She's in New York now. Shortly after.
You sent that to me, forensic?
I beg your pardon?
You send that to me?
Did I send her to you?
You know, I mean, you know, you say she's in New York now. I say, and I'm in New
He's
York.
in New York. He's in New York.
Oh my God.
Nice lady. She didn't want no smoke.
Okay.
Now, if you look the laws of it, say you can't do it. You can't.
Yeah.
I've been around this for about 7 years, man.
Tell me what it says. Somebody pick it, look it up.
What was that? Prison? What was that?
Look up, can a pro se litigant file a federal criminal case against officials?
I don't know.
I just step in just to say, what's up, Forensic?
Hi, who's that? Where you at?
This is Javon.
Hey, babe, how you doing?
All right. Just seeing on the chat and say, I was waiting for everybody to stop that way I can speak properly. You know, when I come in, I like to speak to the panel and everybody in there. What's up, gentlemen?
How you doing, brother? How you doing, brother?
Forensics, ask me, you wanted me to look at what?
Can a pro se litigant file a criminal case against officials? No. Read it.
So one night, about the case, one night the police board and stop me right. I say, you know, I'm up on private property, you know, people. Private property, they're on it. I mean, man, they take up my car. How much money me have to pay to get on my car? About 1,000, you know. Private property, me up on, you know, people, right? That's why me they park up, you know. My man can take up me gun buckler, car, violate my rights, you see me? All them things that I can't do. Fuck you, dog. And all of that, they lock me up to, you know, dog. Lock me up at night, there. You see me? You know, no warrant out from arrest or nothing. Just because I drive my car, I know, I have no insurance in there for my car, you see me? No, I need no license. And they lock me up, dog. I'm there on private. That's our wickedness. You see me? When I commit a crime, nobody was injured. And they lock me up.
And let you know how to navigate that. They will say that is incorrect, but it is correct because remember when Barack Obama put that $2.7 trillion lien or $2.4 trillion lien against and filed it into the Department of Agriculture, that was against the people. He listed men with real arms and hands, or real arms and legs, hands and legs, that's hands and feet, I forget how he worded it, as real estate, and then filed that in the Department of Agriculture. So that was a 2.4, and that was in 2016, I believe, or the middle of 2016. End of 2016, or the middle of 2016.
Okay, so this may be kindergarten then, what I'm about to ask. Because I've been trying to do this and I've seen people do this before, like with your bill is really a check. And the way that you're supposed to issue it.
Your bill is a bond. The whole piece of paper is a bond. They have a perforated section, people tear it off, and then they write a check, or they add a money order, or they do, something like that. So it is, if you look up bonds, coupons, bonds, remittance, vouchers, it'll give you a little bit more information about that, because that's what it is. The Social Security card, right underneath the wording Social Security, it used to say account.
Chase got a whole patent on the whole. Hold on, man. Let her finish, man. Don't cut her off. Let her finish.
And that was the way that it was in I believe it was until they started removing it. Anybody who had the card prior
still has that. There was a young man who found all of his father's old, everything from birth to military to everything. It was in a box, and he displayed it, laid everything out on his bed. I gotta see if I can find that young man, but this was his father, and even the birth certificate said that he was natural. It didn't list anything else that he was natural on the land. So the BCs have changed greatly. The SSNs have changed greatly, the new ones. And so, you know, the public side is with the dashes, the private.
Okay, so when you're actually trying to get remedy, when you're taking, or I'm gonna just say it in layman's terms, when you're trying to get issuing a bond or a bill in the way that you supposed to perform it, you write it as if it's a check and you submit that back. Do you have to get it notarized, or do you have to get it? Go ahead.
Yeah, everybody wants to just send it back to the company like you do a regular bill where it goes into bill payment. And from what I remember, because we did that in like 2013, and this was like $3 million. I have to pull all of my paperwork, which is actually in storage right now. But what it is it has to go to the CEO or the CFO, excuse me, the CFO. It is just proper wording. You're the agent. You're you're still putting it in the format of, you know what? I have a couple of examples. I'll post that on my back page, and you can look at it for yourself. There are a couple of people on Facebook who are actually doing those. They're holding classes. Some of them, and then they give it freely. Most of them use now stamps. You can get stamps that are made